So today I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the best places to sell your sports cards right now. I definitely have a handful of spots that I believe are great to sell in right now. So without further ado, we are going to hop right into this video. So one of the first spots that I do sell on quite often is going to be Stockx. Stockx is essentially a platform where it's essentially a marketplace for collectibles. And as you guys can see, one of the things I like best about Stockx is their bidding feature. So each and every item essentially has a lowest ask, which is the lowest price someone's willing to sell it for, and then the highest bid, which is the highest that a buyer is willing to pay for it. So one thing that I like about Stockx is anytime you want to sell at the highest bid, so for example, this highest bid is $739, all you have to do is click next, and this card is sold. When you log in, of course, and you go through that, the card's pretty much sold right there, or the box, or whatever it is. So whether it's wax or a card, it's sold right then and there. You ship it to them. Stockx authenticates your card or box. They send you the money, and they send the box or card to the buyer. So one thing that I really like about Stockx is the fact that there are no returns. Once the box or card is verified by Stockx that it's in good condition, it's exactly what the buyer paid for, you get your money and it's done. And the buyer will then get his card. So that's the easiest part about it. There's no returns, and on top of that, you can just sell instantly if there's a good bid on a card that you want. So every card that I'm about to sell, I first just look if there's a bid on Stockx, and if there's not, I'll still place an ask essentially. And if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, then I try other platforms as well. But it's a good spot just to double check, because sometimes there'll be a bid on a card that you're willing to take. So it's just easy, nice way to sell your cards. Now next up is probably the biggest one, I'd say, for me at least, and that's going to be Facebook groups. So Facebook groups are, one of the best ways to get your cards in front of 20,000 plus collectors. A lot of these bigger groups have as much as 68,000 members, or some with even 100,000 members. So there's just so many active people on these Facebook groups. If you scroll through them, you'll find a lot of great deals. But if you're also trying to sell, it's a great spot, because you also can search through Facebook groups to see who's looking for example, a Steph Curry card. And if you have a Steph Curry card, you just leave it in the comments, on their post. Or you make a selling post, of course, with your own cards that you want to sell. So it's definitely a great way to do it. I'm in a bunch of different Facebook groups. Some of my personal favorites are, of course, NBA Hotspot. This is one of the most active groups. A lot of big buyers, big sellers on this group. So yeah, it's just an overall great community to be a part of, and I highly recommend Facebook groups. There are a lot of great ones, even smaller ones that have a little bit more buying power, or bigger ones. There's just a bunch of different groups that you can join, so I highly recommend you guys join, especially local groups, just because you can meet a lot of people in person. It's definitely a great spot. And then if you're selling specific player cards, such as I have a pretty big Donovan Mitchell card that I'm trying to sell right now. So I went ahead and joined a Donovan Mitchell cards for sale or trade group so I can try to sell that card. So there's also very specific groups that you can go ahead and join, to where if you're trying to sell a LeBron card, probably the best chance you have of selling that card could be in a LeBron specific group. And you can also get some incredible deals. There's always deals on Facebook groups, so I think it's a great place to buy and sell. Now next up is going to be Instagram. So I highly recommend that everyone watching this video, if they do have an Instagram, to go ahead and just, whether you make a separate Instagram for this or do it on your own, one of the best ways to sell is to just literally search up sports cards, give all these accounts a follow, and then once you give these accounts a follow, you can essentially either message them. A lot of people post on their stories like looking for this card or that card, paying strong on this card. So it's just a great way to build a network. It does take a little bit more time, but it's definitely worth the time investment, because you can essentially even message a lot of these big accounts, who you can see. For example, if I'm looking at an account and I see he's got a Mac Jones card, that he collects Mac Jones. If I have a Mac Jones card, I'm going to go ahead and message him, say, are you interested in this Mac Jones card? So it's a good way to network. It's a good way to sell. So I highly do recommend Instagram as well. Of course, with Instagram and Facebook, the thing is, you definitely want to be selling and understanding who you're selling to a little bit more. It's not there's not like a middleman in the deal, for example, like StockX or another platform. So what you want to go ahead and do is make sure that you do a little bit of a background check. A lot of the times people have vouchers on the groups just to make sure you're dealing with a legitimate person. But yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite places to sell. Next up is going to be My Slabs. My Slabs has 1% seller fees. That is pretty much the biggest bargain in the industry in terms of a platform that's doing it for that cheap. So My Slabs is definitely a great spot to go ahead and post your cards for sale. You definitely get a lot of offers on My Slabs. Some of them can be low balls, but it's better to get offers, as many offers as possible. And what I highly suggest is you guys post cards up. If you have a card that you're really trying to sell, post it up on StockX, post it up on Facebook, post it up on Instagram, post it up on My Slabs, and post it up on every single platform you can, so that it's just getting in the eyes of as many people as possible. So if it's in the eyes as if it's in front of the eyes of as many people as possible, it's of course got the best chance to sell. So that is what I highly suggest. My slabs, of course, you cannot sell raw cards. It's only slabs. So that's one of the downsides with StockX and My Slabs. Well, StockX does have a raw card selling kind of platform, but I would personally not recommend it. I think if you're selling ungraded cards, definitely sell through Instagram or Facebook, I'd say, or at sports card shows, which is, of course, the best way to do it. However, a lot of people do not have local shows near them, and so that's why I do suggest a lot of these other platforms. Now, the final platform that I did want to go over is going to be VeriSwap. Now, VeriSwap is a fairly new platform. It's mainly a place to trade. However, if you post up your cards and you're trying to get some liquidity out of them, a lot of the times on bigger cards, I trade down. And on, smaller cards, I might trade up or just try to get cash for them. You can also make cash offers on VeriSwap. So it is also kind of like acts as a marketplace, but I do definitely recommend it for just posting it up and seeing what offers you get on it, because you never know who's looking for the card you have and is willing to pay the strongest amount for it. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. I really hope you guys did enjoy. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and please subscribe. We're on our way to 50,000 subscribers, so it would truly mean a lot to me if you guys enjoyed this video that you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Help us on our road to 50,000 subscribers. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm out. Peace.